In this video, I'll explain you the basics of ISO 27001 Lead Auditor course. So, who is it intended for? How is it structured? How long does it last? How to prepare? And I'll also show you how these lessons look like using as an example the free ISO 27001 Lead Auditor course from Advisera. So this course is intended primarily for the auditors, meaning people who want to work as certification auditors for a certification body, because they can't really do this job if they haven't gone through a formal education. But this course is also very popular with consultants because this is how consultants actually prove their knowledge towards their clients. But they also learn this way what is the process and what is the way of thinking of certification auditors, so that it's easier for consultants then to conclude actually how they have to prepare their clients for certification. This course usually lasts between 4 and 5 days, so between 30 and 40 hours. And when you compare this lead auditor course with, let's say, lead implementer course, you will notice that the duration is the same. However, the focus of lead auditor course is more on auditing, whereas the focus of lead implementer course is on implementing the standard. If you compare this lead auditor course with internal auditor course, then you will notice that the internal auditor course is shorter, and this internal auditor course doesn't go into so much depth when it comes to auditing techniques and certification process as does the lead auditor course. Lead auditor course usually consists of lessons, workshops, and an exam, whereas with some training providers, the workshop and the lessons are actually merged all together. And I'll show you now how these lessons look like. Okay, I'm showing you now the ISO 27001 Lead Auditor course from Advisera. This is an online course, and you'll notice that basically these lessons and the structure of the course is very similar with other training provider. Anyway, you can enroll into the course completely for free by clicking this button. You can also go and pay for the exam if this is something that you're aiming at. Anyway, when you click curriculum, you can see the structure of the lessons of the course. And you will see that there are 13 modules, out of which the first 6 are about the standard, and then the remaining 7 are around performing an audit and also doing the certification. So let's go one module at a time. So in module 1, you see the basics about the standards. What is 27001 structure, information security principles, ISMS, ISO 27000 requirements, implementing the project, documenting the requirements, benefits. When you go for the module 2, you will see this is about the planning phase. So you will see mainly clauses 4, 5, and 7. So it starts with the understanding the organization in its context, needs and expectations of interested parties, determining the scope of the ISMS, leadership and commitment, top-level information security policy, roles, responsibilities and authorities, information security objectives, and then clause number 7, support. This is resources, competencies, awareness, communication, documented information. And then module 3 about risk management. This is mainly clause number 6. So risks and opportunities, risk management process, risk identification, also an exercise around risk identification, and basically this is an online exercise. Risk analysis evaluation, risk treatment, statement of applicability, and risk treatment plan. And then when we move on to module 4, it's about do implementation. So it's mainly about clause number 8, but it starts with the formulating the risk treatment plan 613 and then implementing a risk treatment plan. This is 8.3. Operational planning and control, operating the ISMS, managing outsourcing, controlling changes, risk assessment review. And then module number 5 about check and act phases. These are mainly clauses 9 and 10. Monitoring, measurement, analysis, evaluation, internal audit, management review, non-conformities, corrective actions, and continual improvement. And the final module around ISO 27001 is this overview of Annex A. So there are people controls, physical controls, a couple of lessons around technological controls, and a couple of lessons around organizational controls. And then we move on into modules 7 to 13, which dig deeper into auditing and certification. So module 7, auditing. So auditor assumptions, techniques or finding evidence, sampling the records, interviewing techniques, audit findings, non-conformities, observations, internal versus external audit, annual audit program, audit plan for an individual audit, creation of the checklist, internal audit report, corrective action follow-up. And then module 8 is about auditing standards, mainly 17021 and 19011. So what is certification process, certification of integrated management systems, accreditation 17021, competencies of lead auditors, International Accreditation Forum, and 19011, the standard about auditing. And then module 9, the roles and responsibilities during an audit, audit team leader or lead auditor, and then auditor as a member of the team, technical specialist, certification reviewer, audit client, management team, hosts and guides. So everything is explained around these roles here. Module 10, planning the audits. So audit criteria and objectives, audit scope, selecting audit methods, sampling, remote auditing techniques, deciding when to use these remote auditing, planning the use of remote auditing techniques, audit team, audit risks, audit plan, allocating activities to auditors, and making contact with the audit client. And then module 11, it's about audit process. So opening meeting, managing site visits, interviews, evidence requests, debriefing sessions, how to deal with conflicts, and so on. And module 12, managing audit team. Why is this important? How you communicate, what is the process, how you meet the team, manage audit findings, audit records, and what to do when you actually get into problems. And unfortunately, this is often the case in the audit. And finally, how to complete the successful audit, how to deal with audit findings, how to reach conclusions, planning the closing meeting, holding the closing meeting, dealing with the feedback, writing the audit report, post-audit activities, and in general, certification review process. And basically, this is how the audit needs to be performed, and this is how the course is structured around this whole audit process. Now, you might have a dilemma whether to go for an online course or for a classroom type course. And this really depends on your availability and also the proximity of the training provider. So if you do have, let's say, a full week to invest into this kind of a training, and that if there is a training provider nearby you, then it's probably a good idea to go for this classroom type course, because this way you'll be then focused on this kind of training. Whereas if you can invest, let's say, a couple of hours per day or maybe 1 day per week, and a training provider is very far from you, then it's probably better to go for an online course. There is also a question which training provider to choose, no matter whether this is online or a classroom type provider. And there are basically 3 criteria: reputation, quality, and accreditation. A reputation means what is the general reputation of this training provider and how the students are marking this company that delivers these courses. The second one about quality is really about the clarity of the course instructor. So how does this person present you this knowledge, and if you're able to actually learn from this person about this subject matter. And the third one is accreditation. So basically accreditation means that an accreditation body confirms that this course or this training provider is of highest quality. In most cases, it doesn't really matter which accreditation you have. However, if you plan to work as a certification auditor for a certification body, some certification bodies might have specific requirements on the accreditation. So if you're planning to be a certification auditor, simply check first with your certification body if they have some choice for an accreditation. If you're acting as a consultant or a security officer or something like this, then it doesn't really matter which accreditation body accredited this course or this training provider. It's important that there is an accreditation. Now, some training providers do require you some kind of a preparation for the course, some don't, and this is really something that you should check with the training provider. If there is no required preparation, I would suggest that you read the standard itself prior to the course. So the ISO 27001 document, you can purchase it from the ISO organization. But you should also read articles or watch videos about the clauses of the standard, about the auditing techniques, and also about the certification. And you'll find the links to all of these materials in the description below. Hope this was helpful, and in the description below you'll also find the link to this free ISO 27001 Lead Auditor course from Advisera that I was showing you. And you can actually go through all the videos without paying any fee, and we charge only if you go for the exam. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, and please do subscribe to my YouTube channel not to miss any of my new videos, and I publish these videos every week. Thanks for watching!